Welcome to Movie Talks with Matt. I'm Matt Simonelli with Belmont Media Center, and I am here with two local filmmakers who just recently worked with Belmont Media Center. We have Sharisse Zeroonian, who just finished her most recent feature film, Nothing Solid, and we have Christian Frelinghuysen, who is currently touring his film, his most recent feature film, Stroke of Luck. So, welcome. Thanks for coming on. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about filmmaking in Massachusetts and the filmmaking process in general. But my first question is probably my most important. What is your favorite film? I'll start with you, Sharisse.
Oh man, I wasn't really expecting that because I have so many films that I like.
I like throwing curveballs.
I'd say in terms of one classic that I think really holds up for me, probably either, I do like Ordinary People, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
I like Good Will Hunting, of course. One thing that those films have in common is that they both have therapists in them, and my film also does. So
There you
that's
go.
good.
So-
I also like a lot of John Cassavetes movies and stuff like that. So,
Nice, cool, very good. What about you?
Well, I have a lot, but to make this easier, I'll say King of Staten Island.
King of Staten Island. That's one of Judd Apatow's most recent films. So big Judd Apatow fan.
Pretty much.
Yeah, cool, very cool. So, would you say that your favorite films have influenced your filmmaking and filmmaking style? I know you just said that your favorite movies feature therapists and your most recent movie has therapists.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think in terms of some of the dialogue and some of the way that it's not necessarily always super action driven, but it's more about exploring where the characters are in that moment and who they are, more than like getting from point A to point B. And a lot of stuff I watched in school. I had a really wonderful professor who kind of went out of his way to show us films that maybe weren't made with a lot of money, or weren't very well known, but they had a lot of like emotional heart. Directors like Andrew Bajowski, or some of like Greta Gerwig's, like with the films that she used to act in when she was younger, and so. And definitely those had like more of a mumblecore, like really natural kind of vibe. So I think mine kind of has to do with that as well.
Cool. And Judd Apatow is known for kind of coming-of-age comedy films, and Stroke of Luck is, I would describe it as such, wouldn't you? Or
It's pretty much in essence based on a true story, kind of coming-of-age comedy, comedy drama a little bit, more comedy, but yeah.
Cool, very cool. And so, let's start with Nothing Solid. How did you kind of approach writing it? How did you really start that process of making Nothing Solid?
Right. So I was in grad school when I was writing it. I had my MFA in writing for stage and screen from Lesley University, and it was my thesis project. I think I would have written it regardless, but I just chose to say, okay, I will do my school project on it. It is also based off a true story, like Christian's movie, and I just took real things that had happened. It's a semi-autobiographical medical dark comedy. And so I took real things that had happened, like real medical tests, and I had taken some real family interactions, and I had put them in there. Of course, I had to change some things for practicality and to serve the story, and even real conversations with my psychiatrist were in there. So that's basically how I did it.
So this project started in school then. So you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, it started in school. I started writing it in like 2023. I had the idea in like 2022. But I started writing it in 2023, and it was somewhat challenging because my own medical journey evolved so much, and I had to keep adapting certain parts of the script to match that.
Right.
And
must be challenging.
it was, but we ultimately got everything that we could capture in an hour and 45 minutes, and it's reached a lot of people who are going through the same thing, and I'm just glad it's having that kind of impact. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you starred in it.
yes, I star in it, and you star in it too.
Hey, I wouldn't say star. I mean, let's.
You were great. Yeah.
All right, Christian. How did Stroke of Luck start? How did you start the process there?
Similarly, it was a school project, and embarrassingly to say I dropped out, but I guess you could say I still got a diploma because film getting distribution was sort of another form of diploma in my eyes.
Sure.
My school, everyone in school agreed that I should just go with my gut and make it. And so the process was, it was an MFA film, and the thesis was to get to direct it. And when I dropped out, I sort of just raised the money self-financing, and my cousins let me use the farm, and I knew that before writing, and the girl who knows the movies about her allowed me to, and the process kind of took off from there. We didn't have to raise money, so just filmed locally in Western Mass, and
Cool. No, that's really cool. So, let's talk about, you filmed yours in Western Mass. You filmed yours around the Boston area.
Around all over.
Really?
I also filmed it. The parts some of the medical scenes we filmed at a medical training facility in Fall River. It's called Bone Bioskills the Northeast, and they were
Okay.
really generous to let us do that. We filmed in Rehoboth, Mass. There's a wedding scene. There's a huge farm, and those folks were nice enough to I'd filmed a previous project there for Amazon, and so they kind of knew us, and they were nice enough to let us do that. I don't know. Did we film anything out of state? I don't believe we did, but we did. We did a lot of stuff in like southeastern Mass in the area. So
You didn't film anything out of state, and that kind of leads into my next question about really how is the Massachusetts film scene? How is being a filmmaker in Massachusetts currently, would you say?
I think it's really great. It's a very tight-knit community. We have a lot of social media groups where people post casting calls, they post crew calls, opportunities, and I've made a lot of lifelong friends through there. That's where I find a lot of my actors. Like if you
Nice.
post a casting call, you get 20 people saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. So everybody's very enthusiastic, and everybody is very passionate about what they do. A lot of us maybe aren't working with the most money or the most resources, but they really, really are in it just for the love of it. And some people say like, oh, but you're not in LA, you're not in New York, that puts you at a disadvantage. I guess it would be ideal to be there, but Boston's have some pretty cool film organizations and stuff. And the Massachusetts Film Office is a good resource too. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, people from LA come here to film things too.
Yep.
So, and you're right. In the interactions that I've had with the Boston film community or the Massachusetts film community in a broader sense, very cool people, very passionate people. So obviously you mentioned earlier that filming here was a little bit of a necessity since your cousins let you kind of use their farm. But how did you find the experience of filming in Massachusetts?
not better than LA, but I'd say easier because there was less, less insurance, less expense, less cost. It's good to save a lot more money, and the rebate factor is nice because we got a 25% tax rebate. So before distribution, we made a little money, and even during COVID, which was nice. So could pay for like post production on the movie, and so filming here. Long story short, it was much better because after experiencing LA, even short films in LA were overpriced. I found that the crew there might have been slightly better, like more experienced. Even classmates were a better crew, and I kind of regret leaving school in that regard and having like the teacher, like the academic support behind the project. But since I got the green light to leave, I felt like it was a honest farewell. I'm still in touch with a lot of people from school, so.
That's good.
But filming here was fine. I felt like I made a lot of connections, and hopefully, anything else I film might hopefully be in Massachusetts. So I think I started a pretty good network, and most of my actors were from LA, but some were local, and I'm hoping that can kind of mesh LA and Boston together. But
Yeah.
I want to support, continue supporting local Boston businesses and restaurants, for catering.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's the dream of every Boston filmmaker was
Yeah.
is to kind of mash LA and Boston together, and
And I wanted to sort of invite people from LA to see what Massachusetts looks like too, like especially Western Mass. Like the whole idea of getting distribution was to expose the Berkshires, and because I mentioned before,
place.
like everyone knows Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, the Hamptons. Like everyone's like, oh, we're gonna go to the Hamptons and rent a big house. If you want to save money and still have a great experience, go to the Berkshires because the cost of living there is like way cheaper and still is beautiful. So.
Yeah. Have you ever found yourself out in Western Mass filming anything? Do you think?
I don't believe I've ever been that far out to film anything. I think the farthest I've been when we shot for my Amazon show, we were in, I believe in Maine, we were on the New Hampshire-Maine border somewhere. There's like a radio station we filmed in.
Oh, cool.
So we were there, and I don't believe I've ever filmed like out on the Cape or Western Mass or anything, but we did. I've done a lot of stuff in like the Rhode Island area. I think I have a lot of like people that I know down there. It's also just way easier not to do it in a city because of parking and traffic and everything. And I have some crew members who like flat out refuse to do anything in Boston. So they're like, no, like you got to do it in like a more suburban place. I'm like, okay, but I've also filmed some stuff at my apartment. I live in Cambridge, so I guess it's going to be a pretty famous apartment if people see it over and over again. And
there you go.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So in the future, we're looking ahead. What do you have anything in the works? Are you writing anything? Are you looking to do anything coming up?
I am currently trying to finish the Amazon show. I've been neglecting it because of Nothing Solid. I mean, honestly, that I've kind of outgrown it. Like, I do better stuff now, but some people, like, they're like, no, finish it. So I guess I'll do that. And I have a new thing that I'm starting to write. It is I figure I got to meet people where they're at. A lot of people want to watch short content on their phone. So I thought if I release something where, like, every episode is like an individual scene, almost like a short play, and put it on Instagram, and I release them, and it gets like hopefully a huge following. A lot of people will be really receptive to that, because I've seen people, there are old shows like Sopranos, like Grey's Anatomy, that maybe people who were on Instagram who were too young when they originally on the air, they're seeing like little clips of it, and those clips are blowing up.
Yeah,
and those shows
Sopranos has gotten like a huge resurgence because of like Instagram and TikTok posting clips of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people are rediscovering that show.
Exactly.
What about you? What do you got in the works?
The one I can talk about more at length is a Green Day sort of either TV show or movie, sort of, again, Apatow inspired, but it's about Billy Joe's sort of sobriety and how they became a band and inducted into like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it's sort of not a biopic like the Queen movie, but more of a coming of age music comedy drama. And then another project I'm working on is kind of based on what happened to me during the pandemic. As part of being sober almost 4 years now, I'm sort of journaling and writing a thriller script based on my COVID experiences in New York and LA and Boston. So it's sort of a thriller / coming of age-ish thing.
Okay.
That I've sent out to a few people, and it seems to be received well, but I guess those are the two that I'm working on.
That's cool. You're a big Green Day fan, right? Yeah.
And my thriller is sort of, if you've seen the movie Disturbia, it's kind of got this voyeuristic, like someone's always watching, either good or bad. In my case, hopefully, like a guardian angel sort of figure looking over me.
So kind of Hitchcockian too?
Yeah, like a little bit like Rear Window, Disturbia, like,
Yeah, that kind
you don't know who your neighbors are, but somehow they always seem to have your back, or, witness to something, or,
Yeah.
innocent before proven guilty kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's this scene? Every scene is a TikTok video idea.
Yeah,
Not to put it
no.
so crudely. That sounds mean, but it's a good idea. I like the idea.
No, it's like, so I kind of based it off of just, again, like some real things that have happened, though changing it a little bit. I thought that this would be about a struggling musician who's also kind of forced to be a music teacher, kind of against her will, at a school. And it's almost kind of like if Abbott Elementary was a lot more inappropriate and met Curb Your Enthusiasm or It's Always Sunny. Kind of like if Larry David's character in Curb became a teacher, if that makes sense. So a lot of the crazy stuff is based on some of the crazy stuff I've experienced working in education.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also, but a lot of it is also based on relationships and family. And you see the character kind of struggling to have this career, but also deal with the fact that, what if, some certain dreams aren't meant to be, like, not even necessarily in the career, but also what if, the relationship that you're in isn't meant to move forward? Or what if, you are just, you feel like you're not really making progress in life, but you are. So there's kind of definitely a lot of that. So.
Cool. No, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting. So really, you touched upon earlier how you've made lifelong friends through the Massachusetts filmmaking community, and you kind of talked about that as well a little bit, connections and stuff around here. Really, how would you say that your life has changed having become a filmmaker? And really, like, what was your first project that really got you into the scene?
I think the first project that got me into the scene was a short, well, like a long short. I guess some place would consider it a feature. It's like borderline, but it was something that I made that was, again, based off of stuff that I watched in school, like things that people made that weren't very well known, but they like picked up a camcorder and they just did it themselves with a few friends. But it had a lot. It was a film called Well Water, and that was about a relationship between two kids who are really, well, not kids, like teenagers, like a boy and a girl, and they kind of want to move forward with their life. They want to get married. They want to get a house, but it's kind of like if the Beach Boys song "Wouldn't It Be Nice" were a film, and they're just kind of really frustrated that they don't really know what they want in life, and they also can't really get there.
Yeah.
But their relationship gets stronger when they kind of let some of that stuff go. And that was the film I made, and I saw that it had a really positive impact on people, and a lot of reviewers liked it, and I thought, I guess I could keep doing this. And I also come at this from a writing background. I'm a fiction writer as well. I do plays as well. I've done some poetry, and some of the stories that I write, I've adapted. My first feature film it's called The Mouse and the Bread, but we don't really need to talk about that. It's not a very good film, but it was adapted from a short story that I had published. That's kind of what got me into it. And I'd say, I guess my life has changed by being a filmmaker, by I don't know, I guess opening me up to all these people I never thought I'd meet. And also, it's been really challenging. I mean, the balancing that and also having to work and make a living.
Yeah.
I think it has really taught me some really harsh truths that, my new series is going to explore as well, that I guess the world doesn't owe you a living or owe you success. So I guess it's kind of knocked me upside the head a little bit and put me to the real world. So, yeah.
But hey, you got the film community to support you. So
yeah,
that's
right.
really cool. And so you're kind of a writer at heart. You've been writing for a while. Would you say you're a writer at heart too? What would you say your filmmaking prowess is? How did you get your start? What did you start
I guess we traveled a lot as a family, and being part Greek, we go to Greece a lot, and I'd always sort of use certain family members, like my British family, or certain family members to cast in short films that I'd write. And I always liked editing more than anything else, or I like writing and editing more because you can do it by yourself and you don't need 20 other people to do it.
Right.
Or input. But yeah, I guess it started 17, 18. And I guess being in different countries, I wanted to capture that country in the short film too. So having that experience and fortune to be able to travel, I'm like, why not make something while I'm here? And I'd always try to come up, it bothered me growing up. I'm like, I can't come up with my own story idea, but I like movies.
Yeah.
So as I got to travel more and stuff, I think seeing the world allowed me to become more narrative based in my head. And listening to music too, songs that have in school, our teacher said, what's your story about, or what's the message? And it's the same about a song, what's the message in the song? So once we learned that method in school, it helped me with making my short films a little better, I think. And the academic part of the filmmaking process really helped me become a better writer, I think, and more confident.
Yeah.
Because it's all about confidence. It
is. Yeah.
You can show it internally, or you can show it not externally, but internally. I think it's better for me, and I think the school experience really allowed me to sort of. 17 or 18, that's when it really started to pick up, I think.
Yeah, well, it certainly takes confidence to make a film and show it to people.
I've seen plenty of
movies. So personal.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of movies, all, again, Judd Apatow's movies, and the more I watch, I think I learn from movies too, comedic timing and, joke layering, one joke after another.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone says you learn from what you watch or what you read, so, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. And we'll switch it up this time. I'll ask you the question first.
Oh boy.
What would you say your favorite filmmaking experience has been? Like a certain story that you've had, or any fond memory that you might have.
I guess
something.
Yeah, I guess my short film I made in LA, which was I don't know if we're allowed to use real names here, but it's based on the Trump and Stormy Daniels. But my classmates and teachers thought it'd be more funny if it was about a male gigolo and a governor, so it wasn't too on the nose.
Right.
Because I didn't want to slander him. So the idea was that the short film is basically, that was probably my best experience, was making something in LA that turned out okay, and used local actors and local crew from school and outside of school. And
Nice.
I learned a lot being on set, like communicating with the DP and the sound people, and cueing action and cut. Like just being in an academic environment really helped me be more confident, because mistakes are bound to be made in a school setting.
Of course. Mistakes are made
mistakes are more acceptable.
outside of-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. But having it be a school project gives me like a leeway for excuses to make mistakes. But thankfully, it turned out okay. And I always have a problem of saying something's finished, because I want to keep working on a project, but you have to like learn to let it go.
Yeah.
So that's kind
that
of
can be a
like the
tough
same with
thing.
my feature film. Like I didn't want to stop working on it.
Yeah.
But in answer to your question, yeah, I think the project I made in LA really stood out to me most.
Nice. Cool.
So.
What was that called?
It's called The Ousting.
The Ousting.
I couldn't really come up with a better title, so I know it's kind of a weird,
No, that's impressive. That's cool. And what about you, Sharisse? What would you say your favorite filmmaking experience is?
I have so many stories. Some pretty entertaining. I remember when I was filming Well Water, we put a hole in somebody's wall by accident, because had to stand on a chair. I was filming like a scene that was, the characters were lying on a bed, and I want to get that good shot, and I had my foot on the chair, and when I came down the chair, like it went up, and it like went, one of the legs went into the wall, but the homeowner apparently was really good at spackling, so they were like, "That's fine, we'll spackle it. We're all good."
Jeez.
We have had a lot of funny moments like that. I think we've also had some, a lot of, when I say favorite, I mean favorite in terms of like a lot of the laughs that we had, and some of them were from pitfalls like that. But I have to say, I think filming Nothing Solid was pretty fun, mostly. Like, it was really stressful for a lot of reasons, though, like money and stuff like that. But we just had a great crew, and we had like a lot of inside jokes together. I enjoyed filming at, where was it? At the medical facility. That was fun, because we got to like use all the medical equipment and like, reenact that cool stuff. That was awesome. My goodness, what else? I think I also enjoyed filming Well Water. I mean, it wasn't too elaborate. I like smaller sets. I don't like having 30, 40 people like bustling around. I find it pretty overwhelming to manage. I like having like 3 or 4 people, just somebody with a camera, maybe the sound and the lights. I like that it was really low key. I think those have been my favorite sets, where it's just been chill and not a lot going on. It's just it's more conducive to good acting and good, everybody just getting along well. And yeah.
Nice. That's cool. And so really my final question here would really be, what would you say in your most recent project, what would you say the scene that you're most proud of would be? What would you say the thing that you filmed in your most recent thing? What is the thing you're like really eager to show people and you're really proud of?
I don't know. There's a lot of very emotional scenes in that movie, and a lot of the therapy scenes are, it's not like, a lot of movie therapy scenes are very dramatic. There's like a lot of crying and stuff. There's like none of that, but there's a lot of like jokes and things like that, but it's also really introspective. And there's some scenes where I talk about some like the inner stuff that I was feeling about adulthood and about living with illness and all those things. And there's a lot of meat in those scenes, and I like showing those to people. I also like some of the funnier scenes, like the one that you're in, where I get in a lot of trouble at work for a huge mistake that I make. I love showing those to people. I think they're really good examples of like, not just how funny the dialogue is, but there's a lot of good nonverbal acting in there. And like you just get that perfect shot of like someone's facial expression or something that just like makes the scene.
Yeah.
So those are the ones, I guess, if someone said, what's the best example of your filmmaking, I would pick those scenes that have all those components in them. So
Cool, very cool. What about you, Christian?
I don't really know how to say this appropriately because
oh, I know.
There's a scene where we were contacting the animal, whatever it's called, the no animals were harmed in the making of this movie, because first of all, to say out loud, it was all female horses, not male. Secondly, it was all verbal comedy. But the idea of the scene that everyone in LA and all my friends said was my best idea of the whole movie was a horse gets, I don't know how to say this appropriately.
Try your best.
A horse gets, can I give you some sort of like facial thing? You know, a horse is,
We'll say,
horse semen is worth a
sure.
lot. I'll
Okay.
say,
We'll
I'll skip
go
the
with
part of the scene and say horse semen is worth a lot of money. When a friend of mine gave me that idea, I kind of went crazy with it. And this was before my sobriety days, and I was poorly influenced, but it turned out okay, thankfully. And long story short, horse semen being worth a lot of money gave me that idea in the movie, and thankfully it turned out okay. And my actor was really happy with how it turned out. So
There you go. That's, you heard it here first.
yeah, exactly. You know, I don't regret it.
No, hey, you know.
Yeah. It got laughs, so, you know, after a pandemic, you know, if it made a few people cheer up, then albeit.
No, that's great. Awesome. So thank you both for coming on. Thanks for talking to me about really anything. We've covered a broad range here in this half an hour. So I appreciate it again. Sharisse Zeroonian, who just finished Nothing Solid, and Christian Frelinghuysen, who made Stroke of Luck. I don't really know how to tell you exactly what that movie is about, but if you heard his favorite scene, you might get a taste of it.
I hope not.
Bad phrasing, bad phrasing.
A small taste.
Let's roll that back.
Don't worry, my movie's pretty gross too, but in a very different way. So it's okay.
We got two gross movies here.
Common ground.
Awesome. No, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
This has been Movies with Matt. I am Matt Simonelli with Belmont Media Center. Thank you very much.
You're mainly here for vomiting and pain.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your blood work is impeccable. And your x-rays look unremarkable.
Unremarkable. That's my middle name.
Any recent changes in your life? Anything major or stressful?
Well, I did move out of my parents' place.
Like your good neighbor, Jack is there.
But we're not neighbors anymore.
I'm gonna write you a referral for Dr. Miller.
I can think of several people who judge me just for being here.
Any specific people?
My mom, she kind of had a similar reaction that Tony Soprano's mom did when he was starting therapy. He sees a psychiatrist. He does not.
You've got 10 minutes to eat as much of that as you can. After which, you're going to take 10 minutes off, then we're going to lie you down in that machine. It's going to take some pictures of your stomach.
Does it taste like radiation?
I don't know.
Is this dangerous? Like, if I eat this, am I gonna grow like a third eye?
9 minutes.
What you're experiencing is real and legitimate. You're sick all the time because you're not listening to what your stressors are. And one of the biggest stressors for you is your family.
He just called me stupid, but I'm disrespectful? You can both be disrespectful.
Your kid.
You're afraid of the world and you avoid responsibility.
Where do I avoid responsibility?
How about work?
50 Shades of Grey. Write my article, bitch.
Oh, yeah, you call him bitch.
You can help me cover the crafts fair.
I don't.
Or you could help with the youth group section. I'm sure your youth experience is still fresh in your mind.
I do recall the water balloon incident.
Oh, yeah.
Really? I can't believe I ever wished to enter this phase of my life.
Being an adult is a tough job.
It's so hard, and I don't know where to start.
Well, I'll tell you one place where you can start. You can stop barking up the wrong tree.
For what?
For approval. Most of your heartache is caused by the search itself.
Nom 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 nom. Me like cookie. C is for cookie. That's
Stink bombs? Really?
Mom, I can't talk about this again.
Just hope working at your dad's is going to instill some responsibility in you.
I'll come here.
This is Fritz. He's one of our finest.
Exhilarating.
Whoa.
What?
Nothing.
Never seen a girl with a gun before?
Ever seen a gun before?
Oh, city boy.
Well?
A near perfect match.
Excellent. Excellent.
This semen sample definitely is a descendant of the greatest racehorse of all time.
Okay, really pull it.
I'm using all my body weight.
All right, well, that's sad.
Does that, like, happen sometimes?
Nope.
Are you gonna tell us what's going on? Because I'm still confused.
Okay, that lisp is a little annoying.
Horse semen is no laughing matter.
Nate, come on, I want you to meet the others.
Wimp.